So, how was your long weekend?
Not too bad. I worked here this weekend, just fixing up the costumes and all the makeup. But at least I got double pay.
You're getting paid? Well, with the Liberal Party announcing it will oppose Labor's proposal for an Indigenous-voiced parliament, let's clarify with opposition leader Peter Dutton.
There was a resounding no to the Prime Minister's Canberra voice.
Here's what Deputy Liberal leader Susan Ley had to say about why the party will be supporting a no vote.
Look, today is not a no from the Liberal Party.
With Dutton accused of both lying and taking conversations with First Nations communities out of context, the party has attracted major headlines in the past couple of weeks. So let's now head over to Federal MP for Kooyong, Dr Monique 24/7 Ryan, to get her assessment of the situation.
Thanks, but put your mask on and get back to work. Whose chart have you handed me anyway? Oh, it's the Australian Liberal Party's. My favourite. Their medical history is actually quite extensive. Not only did they lose the 2022 federal election, but they also lost 6 of their traditional wealthy seats to Teals. Oh no, they've also just lost the Aston by-election. Code blue! Code blue! The Australian Liberal Party is flatlining. We need to perform emergency surgery now. The Liberal Party is beyond a restructure. We're going to have to perform a life-saving personality transplant. Lucky I'm a neurosurgeon. Have I said that before? A paediatric neurosurgeon. So I'm skilled at operating on childlike brains. Hand me the leader, Peter Dutton, so we can get this surgery on stat. Peter, count down from 3, 2, 1. The first step is shaving his head. We can skip that step. He's smoother than a baby's bottom. The next step is to peel back his 3 layers of skin. The epidermis, the dermis, and the hypodermis. Now, I must perform an incision through the periosteum. Now comes the hard part. I must perform a craniotomy. Okay, here's the moment we have all been waiting for. Once I remove this piece of skull, I will finally be able to access Peter Dutton's brain. Oh no, there's nothing in there. Peter Dutton has no brain. I cannot perform a personality transplant on the Liberal Party if their leader has no brain. The Liberal Party is officially beyond saving. And Dr Monique Ryan will be Australia's next Prime Minister. Quite frankly, it's a no-brainer. It really does appeal to me.
Is she done? Oh, thank you for that, Dr. Ryan. Let's now go over to our freethinker, Foxy Sky.
Voices, voices, voices. I've been hearing a lot of talk about them recently. My question to you is, who should we be giving a voice to? Having once been a prominent voice to Parliament myself, I'm more than qualified to give this advice. I liked Peter Dutton's voice when he announced the Liberal Party will be supporting a resounding no in relation to the voice to Parliament. The federal opposition leader said he wants to give more attention to local voices, and I could not agree more.
We went to the last election with a local and regional voice. That's essentially the policy that we continue on with.
The real local voices who aren't being heard are all around us, the silent majority of our country. In particular, we should be ashamed of the way we've been treating a distinct social and cultural group, the young Liberals. I feel sorry for them. They've had it tough for too long, and it's time to hear their voices. There's nothing more inspiring than a young private schoolboy faced with the struggles of deciding between learning to drive in his mum's Audi or dad's Range Rover. But seriously, these are the voices we should be paying more attention to. The voice of our future generations who actually care about where this country is headed. Europe in the school holidays. And if we want more of a voice from our older generations, we've got a few options to choose from. How about
Mark Latham.
Mark Latham.
He'll put himself out there and risk ridicule and even being banned from Parliament just to spread hate. Inspiring. The list goes on. Moira Deeming, Andrew Tate, Harvey Weinstein. Why not throw the mic back to Melania Trump? Where's her voice been recently? Standing in the shadows of a dynamic, impressive, powerful man who has just made history. Classic females. Talk to me, Melania, talk to me. Australia, don't pigeonhole yourself into choosing a voice from just one cultural group. There's so many voices we could opt for. Listen to all of them, get yourself confused, and then nothing will happen. Nothing I don't want to happen, anyways.
Oh, sorry. Were you saying something, Foxy? I couldn't quite hear your voice. Well, time for a harsh change of pace now to fungal diseases with our corporate wellness correspondent.
Have you guys seen that thing about the plant mycologist in India being the first person in the world to contract a plant fungal disease? I wish I could be immortalised like that, but sadly the only thing I've caught is a computer virus while trying to illegally stream The Last of Us online. The series is about a fungal pandemic destroying civilization, which sounds all too familiar to what's happening in India. I bet you're all thinking, I can't get a fungal virus. I don't even like mushroom on my pizza. Well boy, aren't you glad I'm on your screens today, because I'm here to show you this brand new fungal disease preventing granola bar. This granola bar may possibly lower your chance of catching fungal diseases because while you're too busy chewing, your body doesn't have time to pay attention to bacteria around you. It's science. It's low in carbs, sugars, fats. It's basically non-existent. The perfect protection against that nasty fungal disease that will definitely send us into another unnecessary lockdown. You can use my discount code, this is not a pyramid scheme, for 30 cents off your 10th purchase. Talk about a bargain. 90% off profits will go straight back into my pocket because after all, I should be compensated for helping you all out. You're welcome.
Your generosity is much appreciated. Well, we're off to a quick break. Good day to you. Now, time for a daily dose of reality with some royalty.
Thank you, Ren. The palace is cranking up preparation for the coronation in early May, and as the only one with a clue in this family, I'm keeping a close eye on it. The guest list does look a little underwhelming at this stage. We got the rather upsetting news this week that US President Joe Biden will not be attending. However, I have a sneaking suspicion that it has less to do with us and more to do with his ability to stay awake. Yes, he has been known to nod off from time to time. It's just ridiculous, but I don't blame him. We do tend to go on and on and on. In fact, over the years I've spotted many a so-called leader abandoning their duties for a spot of shut-eye. I mean, there was Putin at the Winter Olympics last year. For the havoc he's been causing recently, he certainly has no worries getting to sleep at night. And what about one of our own, Mr. Boris Johnson? Here he is, falling asleep at COP26 in Glasgow. Must be the carbon dioxide in the air. So I have a message for all you sleepyheads out there, dozing your way through power whilst the world implodes. Wake up. Look at me here, and even here. I'm awake. Even if I'm exhausted, I'm awake. You snooze, you lose. Just like we lost America all those years ago. I don't play favourites, but sometimes I do think America is the one that got away. And look at us now. One president won't even hop across the pond for the bloody King of England's coronation. And the one before threatens the entire democratic process simply by existing.
All Democrat-run cities, in every case, and they go into hell.
So my advice this week, wake up, world. You don't know what you've got until one day you wake up and it's dead and you've suddenly got a president.
Oh, sorry, thank you for that, Princess Anne. Time for a dose of good news this week with our bringer of joy, Thursday Eve.
Hello, foolish mortals. I bring good news. A 9-year-old girl is devastated and heartbroken after a California senator seized her pet goat and slaughtered it. The goat was sold at the local fair, where the senator paid an egregious $900 for the spawn. The half-witted girl signed the blood-bound contract stating the procurer of the goat at the fair would have the right to feast upon its carcass. Her mother, however, didn't want to break the heart of her daughter with the sacrifice and declined to provide the goat. A contractual dispute ensued, and the senator sent police hundreds of miles to retrieve the goat, and subsequently extinguished this animal from existence. While I'm all for ritual sacrifice and always enjoy the sight of a child crying, I anguish at the thought of this creature not being used for its intended purpose, being presented at the altar of a Satanist cult as an offering for eternal youth.
Simply delightful. Well, time to change gears a little and delve into the steamy world of international affairs.
Oh my god. Did you guys see how Russia and Ukraine are failing their co-parenting attempt over the custody of their little precious baby Crimea? Poor kid. Their fight continues while China has been cozying up with Russia at this critical moment. I smell a homewrecker. Just like Ramona next door, who's secretly seeing Mr. Williams around the corner of Tantarak Road. Well, I guess China is open to the possibility of an open relationship now that Emmanuel Macron is putting in the effort to meet Xi in Beijing, the city that holds personal value for Xi. How caring and thoughtful of Macron. Good job. Let's get China away from this toxicity. But I'm sensing something fishy here. Because before meeting Xi, Macron did try to advise Putin before the war started. He wanted to help out by mediating the fight over custody. I know, Macron, I feel you. We all want to help stop this madness. But hey, it's not your responsibility. You aren't even involved in this abusive relationship. How on earth would you be able to solve it? Macarons won't be able to sweeten things up, I'm telling you. You can't even tame your own babies back home to stop throwing tantrums, like Molotov cocktails and police cars. I wonder what's your real intention behind this maneuver, Macron? I reckon everyone has a lot on their plates. Let's all take a look inwards and find our ways to achieve inner peace before trying to settle others' affairs. Sometimes there's only so much we can do for others, getting them out of their own toxic environment, especially when it involves power and love. Tiddles!
Whew, steamy. Well, with Australians soon able to access their Medicare cards and driver's licence through the MyGov app, well, it's slowly becoming pointless, almost as redundant as cash. So what's next on the chopping block? Perhaps our resident Crime Stopper, Yolanda Arrest, has some insight.
Before we start, hand over your credit cards immediately. Good evening. We have called this press conference tonight in regards to Marvel Stadium implementing cashier-free technology. This technology is already used in America by widely popular $514 billion company Amazon. The system will be handballed to 2 outlets at the stadium in order to sell pies, chips and beers more efficiently. Any questions?
How does the technology work?
The walkout technology uses AI and computer vision to determine whether a customer has tackled an item from the shelf. The computer vision will detect a customer's clothing, colours and brands to help them keep track of what they have selected.
Do you have any concerns about this new technology?
Yes, I do. As AI has made a mark on society, we do have concerns for people working at Marvel Stadium becoming redundant. There are about 100 employees at Marvel and we don't want Spider-Man, Captain America and Scarlet Witch, just to name a few, to lose their jobs.
How is the selling of alcohol going to work? Isn't that going to create a longer line?
We understand that selling of alcohol legally will be a challenge as an employee will be checking IDs before any customers enter the store. We had hoped to appoint umpires to assist with checking IDs, but they never make the right call.
I have a question. Can you tell us your favourite pie?
In normal context, I would say apple, but in this context, I'd have to say Nick Dacos.
Huh. Well, I prefer cake. And we're off to a quick break. G'day. Now let's cross to Megan Ego to hear about the most amusing comedy to come out this week.
Thanks, Dal. We all know the Melbourne International Comedy Festival is back in town, but it looks like across the world, the jokers have come out to play. A very special performance is scheduled by none other than Mother Russia herself. And who would have known she has such a great sense of humour? Russia has taken the presidency of the United Nations Security Council while she's raging a war on Ukraine. Now, if that isn't a joke that would bomb on stage, I don't know what would. And that's where the humour lies, in the fatal misunderstanding of what the role of Security Council is. Mother Russia is meant to stop wars rather than start them. Pfft, hilarious. Spoiler alert, Vladimir Putin is quite literally subjected to an international arrest warrant for war crimes. Such perfect casting. Closer to home, our very own born and raised 92-year-old Rupert Murdoch got engaged. Wait, plot twist. This romantic fairy tale movie wasn't set to last. He literally just called off the engagement. Guess his 92-year-old heart decided it couldn't keep it up. Perhaps our Rupert Murdoch could take advice from this French romantic comedy to attract a new wife. French minister Marlene Schiappa decided to pose on the cover of a Playboy magazine while a full-blown riot was taking place in the streets of France over how long people have to work. I mean, if you've got it, flaunt it. It is definitely one way to distract the audience, but here in Australia, unfortunately, we've seen it before. The International Comedy Festival is on now, but not just in Melbourne, everywhere. I rate this on the comedy scale in between Harry Styles in Don't Worry Darling, and Meryl Streep in literally anything. Do you think Meryl would have a glass of wine with me?
Well, maybe if you ask really nicely. This strategy seems to have worked for Barry Martin, whose mum has kindly allowed him to stay up past his bedtime for the third Monday in a row. Over to you, Barry.
Mum, I'm filming, okay? Could you just... This week, we're taking a closer look at one of the greatest investors of all time, Donald Trump. Trump has been dominating headlines for an investment he made in 2016, paying $130,000 in hush money to porn star Stormy Daniels. Breaking the law to hush up about an affair everybody already knew about, just for Daniels to not even hush. I'll admit, the genius of this one might even go over my head, but come on, it's Trump. There's some 4D chess going on here. When this is all said and done, this will go up there with the other genius Trump investments. Dropping $700 million on a social media platform specifically for those banned from Twitter? Genius. Investing fortunes on social media does have a big boy billionaire energy right now. Let's not forget Trump's stakes. $1,000 stakes that were so exclusive. Trump chose to pull them from the market after just 2 months. And of course, when he got into the NFT game at the perfect moment, late 2022. Buy low and sell high, baby. It's a shame we can't all learn such amazing business instincts. Well, at least not since Trump University shut down facing multiple lawsuits. Don't worry, bros. The University of Barry Martin is here for all the investing advice you'll ever need.
I think I added too much bronzer. There's really no making him look good, is there?
Maybe he could do with some advice from our resident fashion nun.
Hi, sisters. It seems whilst I have been living it up and enjoying my Easter, others have been enjoying the resurrection of a bad egg. Last week, internet personality Andrew Tate was released from his dingy prison cell after being arrested late last year for suspected sex trafficking and rape. It seems Tate's club of fanboys are so easily able to ignore the ongoing investigation, claiming he has done no wrong. Makes me wish I had a fan club when I accidentally robbed Paris Hilton's house in 2008 and got caught up with that whole bling ring scenario. But enough about me. Tate built his internet personality off claiming to be a real man and indoctrinating young boys into his beliefs, starting with his shaved head being a part of his personal branding. It has since been revealed that was all lies. As recent pictures show, Tate struggles to grow hair on the back of his head. Listen here, Tate. If you're going to claim to be the pinnacle of manhood, at least consider getting a hair transplant. Maybe then you'll have some luscious locks, like my favourite man, Jesus. Until then, Andrew, do you need something to cover up with? Take my habit if you must. Please, save what's left of your barely there dignity. Maybe you can join the priesthood. You'll definitely fit in there. I believe we should now reflect on what it truly means to be a man. If thou claim to be a man, be a fucking man and grow some hair. Come on, Andrew. It's not that hard. Just look at a real god.
Ugh, naughty, balding men. The worst. We now cross to a local who also happens to dislike naughty, balding men. Oh, I tell ya, nothing better than a scroll through TikTok on a hungover brain after a crappy date or 3. It's a perpetual dopamine fix with absolutely no effort at all, and this algorithm, wow, it's like the app knows me. But pollies across the country are committing this great act of defiance by deleting this little app off their devices. Like, they're supposedly all freaking out because China has access to their data, but come on. We all know privacy is a thing of the past. My privacy is invaded all the freaking time. Mostly when I pass out in public parks. But we all know the real reason TikTok's being banned. Our darling pollies are just simply embarrassed by their content. Like this.
But I need to tell you something.
Yeah, I'd happily ban TikTok if it meant I could erase that. Yeah, great content, Dan.
G'day everyone, I'm here with a small business shout out, Mel from Cooper and Kids and Scout, our fantastic dog over here. I've got 5 questions.
Sorry, my attention span cannot take this. Maybe if they were making pottery, I'd watch. On second thought, nah, good call guys, leave the TikToks to me. You show them. Well, over to one of pop culture's biggest comebacks, where it seems Barbie has made the ultimate rebrand. Over the course of the plastic doll's 64-year lifespan, Barbie has swiftly moved through many different eras. First, it was her petite, blonde, blue-eyed era. Then it was her petite, blonde, blue-eyed era. Then she really surprised us all when she moved into her petite, blonde, blue-eyed era, only to make a real statement when she transitioned into her petite, blonde, blue-eyed era. A true diversity mogul. And it only took Mattel almost 60 years to recognise body types. In 2023, Barbie is entering the latest phase of her rebrand, taking to cinema screens in a live-action film from July 21st. Looks like Barbie is sticking to her roots. Greta Gerwig's Barbie movie is already a meme machine thanks to some clever marketing, with different versions of the film's official character posters spreading like wildfire. The images introduce each of the characters the famous cast will play, and while the Barbies have specific interests, all of the Kens are just, well, Kens. Here are some examples featuring our star-studded struggle cast. The struggle. It's real. Oh my god. Oh, if I actually get it in that.